So I like that, right? So it comes to a place for all of us where we need to reprogram. It's almost like a computer, right? And you probably heard this before, but it's like a computer. You know, when you put something in a search engine and you go and look it up and you go to that website, right? And then when you go back, just say 2 weeks from now, and you just put one of the letters in there or the first two, what happens? The drop down, what comes in? What'd you say? The search history. And that's what happens with us is our search history is still there. Some of us, we just need a hard reset. I'm not talking about the reset that I did, the reset to quit. I'm talking about a hard reset to where now when we reset that we are repositioning ourselves. To where now we are authentic and we're not being a fraud when we pursue our passions. Let me ask you a question. You know on a highway how they have guardrails? What guardrails have you put up in your life to prevent you from turning back? Mine didn't come until really, and I'm just being transparent, mine really didn't kick in to 17. And I look at myself, right? Everybody have their own motivator. And the thing for me is where I say I won't go back is because the enemy literally tried to destroy me. And everything that was about me, like literally tried to destroy me and my family. Because just like you, I have dreams, goals, and aspirations. I had a model for 2017. I said, I'm going hard in the paint. I did. I got some shirts made up. And most of the time when I speak, I wear it under my clothes because it's a reminder for me. Because I said I'm going hard in the paint in 2017. And I didn't know that 2017 was going to be one of the most challenging times ever in my life. If I knew that 2017 was going to be the year it was, I promise you I wouldn't have got those shirts made up. Because when it was bad enough that when, I'm a spiritual person and I love my mom. So here I go into the hospital and I'm like, I've seen people get healed before. So I go in there and my mom, she just went in there for a regular procedure. And now they're like, your mom has a rare disease and she may not make it. I'm like, oh, you lying. So I'm going in there with all these holy hands. And I lay hands on her and she still died. I'm like, all right, we'll get through this. And then 2 months later, I lose my job. So I'm like, man, how am I going to provide for my family? I just lost my mom. I'm talking about how bad do you want it, right? Because we say, like, I want this. And I said to him, I'm like, God, use me, send me to the masses. And I'm not saying that he did this, but I'm just telling you what happened. I'm like, use me. I want to make an impact in the world. So in the midst of me praying this prayer, I lose my mom, and then I lose my job. I'm like, all right, well, we'll get through this. And then following that, then legal charges come up against me in the midst of it. I'm like, what, me? And then I'm calling my brother DeAndre like, I need prayer, bruh. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but then I go in there, and we praying, and I'm going through the whole procedure, and I got to go back outside, put this mask on, like everything cool, because I still have to serve the community. These fathers and these children need it, and I'm going to speak to these different people, but I'm broken on the inside. I'm like, yo, I thought I was going hard in the paint. God, I said use me, but I didn't know you was talking about, like, it had to be a breaking like that. I'm like, yeah, I'll navigate. I don't know how I'll navigate, but I'll navigate. And I don't know if you've ever been in a place to where you just, like you praying and you don't get an answer. You're like, could you just say something? Could you give me some type of reprieve? And then right after that, my wife comes to me. It says, in past, our marriage has been compromised. So you mean to tell me this? This. So you say you want, how bad do you want it? And remember, I was used to hitting reset. I was used to hitting the reset button and going back. But I'm like, this time it has to be different. I can't, as bad as I want to go back. As bad as I want to go back, because, I wish I could just say I knew how it was going to turn out. I kind of knew how it was going to turn out, but it was more so like, I hope it turned out right for me. I'm just not going to give up, because this time I want it to be different. So I don't know where you are in your life right now. But when a storm come in like this, you can't afford to hit the reset. Why? Because you have an assignment. You are a solution to somebody's problem. What if I would have quit in 2017? I didn't ask for that. And I know you didn't ask for what you have. You just like, I want to live my best life. I want to get to the mountaintop. But in between time, you're going to have to grow from the inside out. You're going to have to watch your film. You have to be willing to pay the price. And you don't know how much it costs, especially you walk in the store where there's no tags on it. You just say, hey, I want this. I know quality. I want quality. And they say, here's the price for it. Are you willing to pay that price?